When I grow up, I want to be a veterinarian, a chef. I want to be a nurse.
I want to be an entrepreneur.
A dancer.
What I want to be when I grow up is an engineer.
What is community? What is diversity? In a society that is ever growing and transforming, how do we provide representation and access to healthcare for all? How do we get a diverse group of students interested in the health sciences? How do we foster that interest and turn it into participation, enrollment, and graduation? These are the questions that the Office of Inclusion and Outreach strive to answer. We reach out to underserved communities so that we can connect with minorities and inspire them to become involved with the sciences. By educating diverse groups of young people about the health sciences means that our communities will be better served in the future with a more vibrant and diverse group of healthcare providers. Our programs provide a helping hand to guide students through their science journey. Their journey begins with early exposure through our programs like Science Sprouts, Science Power, Science Navigators, Science Masters, and Future Doctors. With these programs, we provide an avenue to help educate and interest young people in lifelong learning of the sciences. We encourage students from the School of Medicine to volunteer in these programs to help bridge the gap between the community and medical professionals. Why do you think it's important to diversify healthcare professionals?
I have no idea.
Well, I don't really, wow.
I don't have the answer.
I think it's critically important to diversify healthcare professionals because the people that we're responsible for come from diverse backgrounds.
I've been involved with the outreach programs at the School of Medicine for a little over 10 years now. I had the great opportunity after getting my bachelor's degree here at the university to work for the Office of Inclusion and Outreach.
Well, I began my administrative career at the University of Utah at the School of Medicine as the Dean of Admissions, and so outreach programs were very, very important to me then. In my current position, I'm responsible for all of the School of Medicine programs, and so I'm responsible for outreach as well. Healthcare belongs to everyone, and everyone who needs healthcare may not have a representative in the healthcare system.
Folks who can diversify the field because of race, culture, ethnicity, gender identity, for example, bring unique worldly perspectives that are necessary in order to ensure equitable access to healthcare.
Well, there are some obstacles and challenges to diversifying the student base. One, of course, is that by its very nature, admission to medical school and to any kind of graduate program is competitive. And so certain elements of the population and the community are advantaged in competing for those spots. And so it behooves us, when we're really striving for true diversity, is to get into communities and areas, neighborhoods, and groups where it's not very common to see people from a medical school or from any kind of the health sciences.
Their involvement in communities has led to direct access for young folks of color, diverse folks of all races and ethnicities. With the work over at Rose Park Elementary, the students love when they see Melanie, for example, or Chris come into the school. I would have, a large group of students outside my office saying, hey, is the School of Medicine coming today because we're so excited to have them here. And then after their courses or after their program, coming back down to the office or coming to find me and showing me what they created from their involvement.
I've been teaching here at Kearns for quite a few years, and I wanted to do more dissections and a couple things with my students. And so I asked around how can we do this, with the funds that we're given. And so I was put in contact with Chris Harris up at the U of U, and
I have Chris Harris come out about 5 times a year to do some dissections and activities with the students, and that's really nice because they get somebody else besides me doing hands-on activities with them. And when he comes, he talks about the program, and I try to get them to go to the Future Doctors program, the Day of the Dead they love. Just seeing that there are opportunities for them that maybe they didn't know about as high school students, that they could get involved They could go up and volunteer, they could go up on campus, they can go see what the School of Medicine is like and go up into the labs. Because college for the high school students seems so far away and so distant and so foreign to them, so it kind of brings it into the high school where they can then get a little bit familiar with it, so it's not so scary.
It's amazing to have a university who's able to provide these programs.
My class would be a completely different class without those.
We would always ask, at the first, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Almost all the girls said dancers, almost all the boys said a basketball player, which is great, but then at the end we asked the question again, what do you want to be? And the girls started saying, I want to be an engineer, and guys started saying, I want to be a physicist, and it was just really cool to see the change.
No one in my family is in the medical field, and so the concept of being a doctor was this very out there, oh, that's not going to be me, And then in 7th grade, my science teacher told us that we would get extra credit if we did this program called Science Power through the University of Utah. That showed me, what it's like to be in science and biology and what medicine is, and that's what kind of sparked my interest in this field. And then future doctors really looked at the profession of being a physician and the different specialties that were possible and what steps to take.
I don't think that I knew too much about what I was doing coming into college. They got me into the LEAP program and I got involved, stayed through all 4 years, and it was amazing. It was just, LEAP was reaffirming, and so that's why I stayed. Being with people that were like you, right? And I don't just mean background. It's easy to interpret that as background or race or whatever, but people that were pursuing the same, sort of goals. It was reaffirming as a student, and then you get to spend 4 years with those people.
For me, the program was really beneficial because as a first-generation college student, I grew up not really knowing any medical students. Through the program, I met a lot of fellow volunteers that were medical students. And it helped me create that kind of network, and I was able to ask them specific questions about how I wanted to go through my career path.
I'm a first-generation student, and not having anybody coach you or show you how to go somewhere is very hard. So I first got involved with the outreach program by seeing a flyer. I was taking a chemistry class, and I remember looking at it and I was like, oh my gosh, there's actually help for me. I can do this. I reached out to Melanie and she gave me a chance. I've benefited in more ways than one, and you're networking. You build friendships that are gonna last a lifetime, and there's not really a price tag on that.
At the Office of Inclusion and Outreach, we have been building long-lasting relationships within the community for nearly 2 decades. We promise to carry on this legacy by building trust and strong bonds that will best serve everyone. We take this pledge because we know that inclusivity empowers everyone, making a healthy and loving community. Through the success of our programs, we have proven this to be true. Every step that a student takes, we are there for them, starting as early as elementary, all the way through college, graduation, and beyond. By empowering young people of all different backgrounds, ethnicities, and cultures with the tools necessary for success, they can continue forth and empower and strengthen their communities.
When I grow up, I want to be a doctor.